Welcome to Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And you guys are sitting so
Garcia.
goddamn far away.
Here
Hold
we
on.
go.
No, wait, I'll just turn it up.
Alright.
And you kick the thing. Don't put your foot on this
sorry.
thing. Hey, stay away from that thing. Whatever you do not touch the stool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I went to go see Die Hard 5 last night, and Ryan went to go see Die Hard 5 today.
Yeah, it was actually kind of depressing because today's Valentine's Day. When I went in to see it, it was just kind of a bunch of like middle-aged, balding men, kind of like just by themselves. Like, there's like maybe one or two couples in there, but they all generally just kind of turn and look at me like, one of us.
I'm bored. You want to go sit naked in a sauna with us? That's what we do it's like a reunion. We actually don't know each other's names or anything, but we all show up to the same movie.
It's actually not
Valentine's Day.
It's not a sauna as much as it is just a really musky like bathroom stall in the men's room.
Unofficial bathhouse.
They let us smoke cigars in there.
We make that into a sauna. We just take our hot rocks in there with us.
And somebody slaps their balls across it.
Anyway.
So that was your experience.
Not really, no, but free to interpret whatever you want out of it.
That's okay. The fucking that magical 10 p.m. showing that they invented, which is like a midnight release, but not a midnight release. But movies come out at 10 p.m.
Yeah, Ryan was telling me about that.
Has been tainted.
How's it been tainted? Everyone knows about it now?
No. It was a fucking rated R movie, and there was a bunch of fucking teenagers there.
Oh,
I don't know. There wasn't even old people there. I was pissed, except for like the one lonely man that sat at the very bottom.
That guy was
with his
every
lonely
showing.
man, with his lonely man soda and his lonely man popcorn.
Lonely Man soda not being any soda, it's like a 2-liter thing or something, or 20-liter thing.
Well, yeah, which is what they call small.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, like it was horrible. There was like fucking 9 teenagers below us, fucking 9 teenagers to the right, 3, I don't know how old these people were to the left, but they probably were older, but not that old. And then like 2 fucking hipsters at the bottom. Which one of these hipsters kept turning on his fucking phone. So I took my foot and I slammed it down really fucking hard. I think the people next to us noticed it, but that guy didn't notice it. I was so pissed. I was going to take the water bottle
Probably
and
had
shoot
like
him.
Arcade Fire playing on his headphones.
I was just such a fag. I was so pissed, though. It's just like people were there.
That's annoying.
I know, the 10 p.m. slot has been tainted. Well, we're just going to go see more adult-oriented movies.
Yeah.
Die Hard's not adult-oriented?
I guess clearly not enough anymore. I didn't expect. I was like Die Hard. I'm like, if Stallone and Arnold's movies didn't have any young people coming, no way Die Hard's gonna have.
I think it's just one of those things. Word of mouth, just build up. Oh, they're playing movies at 10 o'clock now. It's like, really?
Yeah, I think that's kind of because if you noticed, it got kind of a little bit more popular as time went on.
Yeah.
When did they start that again?
Like 4 weeks ago, probably.
Last movie we went to go see, the first movie we went to go see that did it was Last Stand, the Arnold film.
Oh, okay.
Just thinking back on the movie, I like that more than when we first talked about it.
No, I really like that one. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll say this about. Because this was kind of like a lineup of movies. We had Arnold's new movie, Last Stand, then we had Stallone's, Bullet to the Head, and now we have Bruce Willis's
Die Hard 5.
Die Hard 5, or what's it called?
Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. Just call it Die Hard 5.
Yeah.
Those kind of titles are always kind of confusing. It's just like Die Hard 4. It's just like, come on, just call it Die Hard 4.
It's like they're finally coming out with Fast and the Furious 6. It's just called Fast and the Furious 6, not
Finally, they got it
Fast to the 6 or Fast 5. Just
fast, and then you're sixth.
Fat 6.
Then they have like Too Fast, Too Furious, which technically does that make it Fast
that
and the Furious
too
4?
Fat, Too Furious.
Too fat, too furious. Too fat for TV.
But I will say this, if we're going to say these like kind of like expendable, like, because that's almost what they felt like. There's the Expendables, and everybody was like, no, I want my own movie now.
Yeah.
But
Kind of Expendables was Avengers,
I don't
and
know.
this is the end.
What do you think of Die Hard 5?
Here's what I think about the movie. You pay for what you get. I mean, I did not dislike it. I enjoyed it, but strictly in the sense of the action, and that's all you're really going to see. The action was really good, and the action was very consistent, but at the same time, though, even though I did not dislike Jack McClane, who they're saying may take over the franchise now.
He was a bitch.
He didn't. No, here's the thing, though. He could actually hold his own. He was annoying me the whole back and forth between father and son.
He was like, fuck you, Dad. Like, where were you,
That
man?
was annoying.
You left me out. I was only in one fucking movie. Till now. So fucking pissed.
The daughter who came and fired a fucking gun was in the other movie. Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck, Dad?
Well, here's the thing
Look
about
at me,
that.
Dad.
Here's the thing about that, though. That annoyed me. I didn't really care for that so much. But the fact that he was actually part of the action, and he could actually
But yeah, he
hold
wasn't
his
that bad
own.
there. It's just like that. Just like I don't know. Just like
Whenever they got like into like the father and son, because the thing about all the Die Hard films is it's always somebody tagging along with John McClane. This one, it was someone that was generally, I mean, he's not as badass as Bruce Willis, but he's someone that can keep up with John McClane.
You're talking about Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson was he was a badass, but he wasn't a guy that can fire a gun. He was a cool character, and he's a badass, but he's not really. He wasn't a cop. He wasn't anybody. He was just an everyday Joe that just got.
He just
tagged.
worked at like a pawn shop or something. What the hell did he work at? Anyway.
Somewhere in the ghetto.
Yeah, it was like it looked like an electronics store, but I think it was more of like a pawn shop or some sort.
That's my favorite one.
That was like the best Die Hard though. Is number 3.
That's my favorite one, and that's the only one I don't own.
I don't know. The thing about Die Hard 5 is I just thought it was okay. I don't know. I enjoyed it, and I think you could watch it again, but I have to say that's probably my least favorite Die Hard I've seen. Even the action was not bad, but compared to, I don't want to be this person complaining at the Stallone and Arnold's last movies, but like it wasn't very violent whatsoever. It felt like a borderline R. I mean, nowadays, like if you have a couple swears in there, a couple fucks, like that doesn't really feel even like an R anymore.
One headshot.
Yeah, one partial headshot wasn't even that violent of a headshot.
13 rating most of the time seems like nowadays.
Well, yeah, it just I don't know, because in Arnold's and Stallone's, people were getting killed left and right. There was blood, there was guts, there was all kinds of great stuff. And this one just felt so tame.
Like, it was one of those movies, I'm not like, it was like, I enjoyed the action, it just wasn't all that amazing. It was just very much that kind of like, you're going for the action, you're not going to get a heavy story, but you know, like you said...
I'm just going to say, like, there's Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 3, fucking amazing movies.
That's a very good point.
And that's the thing, though, it's like...
I guess how many times...
It's not just like the run-of-the-mill, like, you know, it's just like an extra Bruce Willis movie. Like, he's a cop, he's going to Russia. This could be Die Hard, but it's not Die Hard. Like, it's not one of those movies.
You got a point. There's one thing I wanted to say.
It's a Die Hard. I kind of expect a little bit more.
That's a very good point, because it's just not some other Bruce Willis
It's
film.
not one of those movies where I just feel like I'm just going to see.
I guess maybe I'm almost trying to make up for this one, because I was like, I was kind of harsh on The Last Stand. Maybe I was going in this one with too much of an open mind.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. It was nice, but I don't know, I just felt kind of like, it almost felt slapped together, just like...
I walked away...
I mean, the action, don't get me wrong, the action is pretty, I mean, there's some stuff they're doing in this, it's like, that's pretty cool, but when they have, like, CG action, you don't take a realistic styled movie, and I don't say realistic and, like, it's not fantasy and it's not sci-fi, that's what makes it realistic. But when I watch an action movie like that, I don't want to see a bunch of CG action in it. That's kind of like, I mean, I know he's old and stuff, but if he's too old to like jump through a window and go down, don't fucking have him jump through a window. You know, like that's the problem about almost sometimes CG nowadays is people almost get like that limitless thing. But when you had before, where you had kind of like obstacles, you found other ways to go around it, and sometimes that actually made movies better.
Yeah, that's true. They had to be more creative for one thing.
Well, for example, you go use the Jaws philosophy. Yeah. You know, since the shark always broke down, how the fuck are we going to make this movie?
Yeah, that's always true. I thought it was kind of like there's the guy who we're made to believe is the bad guy for a while, which is he's he's kind of like a good looking Russian dude who's your stereotypical villain, like 80s Russian villain film. And there's even a line he says like, You Americans run around like cowboys. It's not 86 anymore. It's like, are you sure? It looks like you think it's 86 right now.
Everything looks like it's fucking 86 here.
Yeah.
And then another thing about the movie was it was kind of like, I've never been to Moscow, so I can't say about it. But is there really that many vacant buildings in Moscow? Because every building they're going to, it just looks like some worn out, thrashed area. You know,
Eastern Russia. Or something.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's Moscow. But like the one cool thing though, I did like how they went to Chernobyl at the end. That was
cool. The whole
cool.
scene at the Chernobyl.
That was a part that I really liked a lot.
Tell me what you think of this. I saw this part, and I want to know what you is. Guys who've seen the Die Hard films. Actually, Cisco, you didn't see the movie, but after I explain, maybe you'll see what I mean. There's the part at the end when who's the main bad guy, and Jack McClane throws him off the building, and he falls down in slow motion. You think that's kind of supposed to be like a Hans Gruber, and then he ends up hitting the helicopter propeller? Because something they said, I don't know if they're still going to do this, but something they said they were thinking about doing was introducing Jack McClane into this movie so they can hand the franchise off to him because Bruce Willis is getting too old. That's something they said. I don't know if they're going to still do that.
Yeah, it's those ones like, here's the thing. When you you can't hand series off. I'm sorry, that doesn't really work. The only way it ever works like is in a Bond movie, and it's just because it's the same character just being played by somebody else.
Exactly.
But other than that, though, that doesn't work very well. Because I mean, look, perfect example. Look at that Bourne 4th movie. Who the fuck saw that movie?
Nobody saw that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Jeremy Renner. Nothing wrong with that. But it's just like one of those ones like, who the fuck cares anymore?
Well, that's
Yeah,
why
I
they
know.
made Mission Impossible 4. They are finding a way. All right, well, let's introduce Jeremy Renner so he can take over the franchise. But then number 4 got such good reviews and like made so much money. Like, no, sorry, Jeremy, go back
Tom
to your.
just like slaps his dick down like, nope, mine.
It's like, okay, I got the Bourne conspiracy thing coming up. I'm good.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like one of those ones. Like I like Jeremy Renner and stuff, but like he needs his own series. He doesn't need to start or. Because he can't take over Tom Cruise. He can't take over, I was about to say Bruce Willis.
This dude
But,
can't take over Bruce
How
Willis.
can he
Matt
end up
Damon,
doing
I
like
guess.
okay?
Well.
He ends up doing like Mission Impossible. He ends up doing the Bourne movies, and then he's in this Jack and Jill fucking movie. What the hell? That's isn't that him?
Jack and Jill?
Not Jack and Jill. What's not?
Oh,
Jack
Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel. Sorry, I'm thinking
Adam Sandler?
No, Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel movie. Seriously, it's like okay. That's one thing that's really bothering me about movies nowadays. How the hell? Why do you take Snow White and Hansel and Gretel? And these fucking like
Now they're doing Jack and the Beanstalk.
and Jack and the Beanstalk. These fucking like old fashioned like fairy tale movies and make them action packed for like that like 30-year-old who's
And
like
even
still
though
wants
it's
to
kinda
watch,
like- it's
still
like
wants
the
to remember his fairy tales.
I don't think they're gonna make. I don't think they're made for. I think.
Or
I
those,
really
like,
think they're
little
made for
kids.
younger people.
Or little kids that want to watch
Because we live in an age where kids can't fucking handle regular stories anymore. Look at fucking Battleship.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids
can't
can't
play a
handle
board game
two.
anymore?
Well, they can't handle two fucking ships fighting each other anymore. That's apparently not actionful enough.
Apparently.
That's their grandpa's action. Is two ships shooting at each other.
What's wrong, kids? You don't like like Red October? What are that?
Yeah. The Hunt for Red October. So
Come
that's
on,
really the Battleship movie.
F3.
For some, I almost said October Skies for some reason. Like, oh, a different movie.
What if Battleship? This sounds like
still rockets in that.
sounds like if you made Battleship in like 1989. What if Battleship was that movie where like it was just two kids fucking sat down and were playing like Battleship
For an hour and a half.
No. And this is what happens. And as they do their moves, and then it cuts to like fucking live action. Just these poor people getting like killed and destroyed. Like, oh fuck! Don't say F11! Don't say F11!
If it was a 90s movie, what would happen is they get sucked into the board game like,
It's
whoa!
almost like something like the Joker would do, like, alright, now you're gonna play this game online with your friend, but what you don't know is that every time you make a number, one city in the entire world is gonna blow up! So if you sink that battleship, there goes Tokyo! Oh, interesting. Thanks.
That could be like maybe 80s Joker, possibly.
That's what
They're
I
just
think.
this good. Yeah, maybe 80s Joker.
Yeah.
That could possibly work on that one.
What were we talking about? Did this leave from the CG action? Is that where this came from?
Yeah.
Yeah, but one
You know
thing.
what else bothered me too is I have to say this is it has way too much of that like shaky like fucking MTV.
The 24.
Like it's like shake, zoom, shake, like, and I can just see it's like shake, zoom, shake, zoom, and it repeats, and that's really obnoxious filmmaking.
like that. Yeah.
Well, it seemed like they were trying to do. They seemed like they were trying to take elements. I'm not trying to sound like cliche here, but it almost sounds like they're like, okay, Call of Duty's really popular, and 24. Throw in some. 24.
Well, yeah, because like that's very TV style. Is the shaky camera.
They had the shaky camera thing, and plus, just I mean, the set pieces. They almost looked like levels from like Call of Duty or something like that, Modern Warfare.
But yeah.
Another thing that seemed kind of weird about the movie, I mean, this isn't so much a complaint, it just seems weird because every Die Hard movie takes place on a holiday. Maybe it was like, you know, like Russia's Independence Day, and I didn't hear that or something. But no, every movie takes place on a holiday. First two, Christmas. The third one, it was like on Labor Day or Memorial Day or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
And then the fourth one was 4th of July. So I figured this one, okay, it's probably going to take place on Valentine's Day. Maybe Father's Day, because it's a father and son movie.
Yeah, it's a father-son
And
thing.
then as I was watching the movie, it's like, oh, it doesn't ruin the movie at all. It just seemed kind of weird that was their choice not to, like, you know, do that. Given how every other movie takes place on a holiday.
Yeah, you think it would be. But I guess
I don't know, it's one of those movies. It's not bad. It's worth seeing. It's not really worth going out and buying unless you get it for a really cheap price. Or just want to add to your collection, but still you get it for a cheap price.
Oh, yeah.
And plus, just I think with Arnold's movie and Stallone's movie I thought those ones were really good. I'm surprised this one just kind of seems like, oh,
One was
the
also
third one was definitely not the charm.
the one that also was kind of like a little bit of a letdown about this movie. There's that whole part you see like this big burly Russian dude with tattoos all over himself. Like, you know, he's like this big commando guy. I'm like, oh man, like Bruce Willis is gonna do a total like smackdown, like fight with this guy. And it's like, no, just throw an incendiary grenade at him. Not a big deal.
He's gone. Yeah. No. They use like. Yeah, strange enough, there wasn't really too much hand-to-hand combat in that movie.
No, when as soon as I thought, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get these two like fucking battling with
It was
like
more just Bruce Willis just grabbing whatever big gun there was and firing.
Yeah, and then the whole time Bruce Willis also seemed kind of like, yeah, I'm John McClane. Whenever before he's like, God damn it, this fucking he's always pissed off. In this movie, he's like,
A fucking hangover, and you know,
says, I'm John McClane. What about it? Even like when he said,
just here to get my son.
Even when he says "yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker," it was very much.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It was almost kind of like that Flintstones equivalent, like "It's a living," you know.
Yeah.
It was almost kind of like that.
I got paid $1 million to say that. All right.
Yeah, I kind of felt like Bruce almost felt like he didn't care to be in it nearly as much. Like he was there. It's like, yeah, Die Hard. It's an easy gig. Like it's almost come to that now, where that's kind of like Bruce. That's kind of
I think
like
you just want when you get old, you just want a lot of money.
Like mostly every action star always has that one kind of big franchise. No matter how many movies they do, they always mostly have, you know, if Arnold has Terminator, Bruce has Die Hard, and Stallone,
has
Rocky or Rambo. He's kind of got the double whammy.
Yeah.
But and that's the one thing. It's like, you know, no matter what,
Tom Cruise got Mission Impossible.
never forget about those. Yeah, Tom Cruise has Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Just like never forget like those movies and always treat those ones with the most amount of respect. Like Clint Eastwood has Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's just those kind of movies.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely one like, oh, this is easy. I know this like the back of my hand. So you just kind of went in.
And sometimes when you do it like that, then you kind of go like, oh, I've almost kind of...
Like, the action was, like as I said, the action was good, and that's generally what you're going there to see, but I guess, now that you mention it, maybe...
I was going to say, I don't know, Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 3, I think they have good stories in them and all that stuff, too. Like,
even Die Hard 4 was amazing.
Die Hard 4, I like that one a lot, too.
And that was a PG-13 movie, and that was... That
one felt more R, especially if you get the unrated version, than, even though that one's kind of strange, because they just add in a little bit of blood, and there's, like, fucks, but there are always fucks when...
Like, AD Darden? ADR'd in. There we go.
Well, yeah, they're just kind of there, because you never see anybody's, like, mouth do it. It's just like, fuck, falling.
When he turns away, yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Something I want to mention, Cisco, you might find this interesting. I'm not sure where you stand on this, but one of the trailers they had for it was that movie with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn about working at Google. Like, oh,
That's
Spencer's
such a Google movie. Like,
Spencer's got to be punching a wall right now.
When I saw it, it's like, really? This has got to be a Google movie. It's like, how? That's like the biggest fucking advertisement in the world.
And if you look in the trailer, there's a whole bunch of Google like logos behind them throughout.
The fucking text when it says like 2 guys or whatever, it's like all Google text and everything.
Well, it's about like
want to get they want to get their kicks out of a movie and get money.
Well, apparently Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, everything after fucking Lost World, Vince Vaughn, I could care less about.
Yeah, basically.
But
I like old school.
Okay, actually, old school that's actually one's not too bad.
That's kind of like Robert Downey Jr. After a while, it just kind of got lame.
Yeah, Rob Downey Jr. has been pretty lame in the last while. Hopefully, Iron Man 3 will make up for all like the other crap he's done.
I didn't even see the other. I didn't even see the Iron Man movies. I was like, not interested.
Okay,
Iron Man 1's
here's the
pretty
thing,
good.
like those ones, like they're okay. But the third one, look at the trailer. If the trailer stays at that same tone that the movie's going to become, hopefully the movie becomes that same tone that the trailer is. There we go.
I knew what you meant.
I had to fucking rephrase that. Like, I felt like in Beavis and Butthead when he keeps rephrasing things. Like, for, like the
Here
cop
comes
guy.
the hate.
He was great. Like honestly, I like drugged out Robert Downey Jr. a lot more. Like when he did
better
Chaplin.
actor.
When he did Chaplin, that was a fucking great movie.
He was drugged out when he did that movie.
Well, the thing is,
he was
this is the problem that Robert Downey
that movie.
Jr. has. The same problem that Alec Baldwin has. Is they at some point in their life, they go, I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian.
And then people like that. And you're like,
Yeah, and it's like, you're not
that show
funny,
30 Rock.
you're kind of obnoxious.
I hate that show, 30 Rock.
That
People
show's
love
ending,
that
thank
show.
Christ.
Thank God. It's like,
Never
no,
watched
Alec
it.
Baldwin, yeah, you're a good actor. I respect you, but no. Like,
Well, Alec
these
Baldwin was a
shows are
great
just
actor back in the
snippy,
day, and
you
then
know? He's still a good actor, but
Well, he's not a bad actor,
It's
but
just that he's...
the comedian thing is just kind of annoying.
It's whoever writes for him, too. It's like, God, no. It just doesn't work with certain actors.
That would probably be Tina Fey or whatever staff of writers.
And
are
she's
on
not a
that
very
show.
good writer either, and she's not funny.
She can be funny, but she's not like as funny as people say she is.
No, I've never even laughed at her once, but...
Yeah, she's all right. I wouldn't say I dislike her, but I'm like, she's okay. She's way overblown, obviously.
Yeah.
Like most of the SNL people nowadays.
But that's kind of like Robert Downey Jr. That's the same problem he had. Is at one point, like, he's just like, I'm funny now.
Yeah.
If you write me in, you write me with a bunch of jokes.
I know. I was like,
You know, and it's just like, what happened to, like, I mean, it's okay to do a comedy here and there, but these actors really, they just go, like, straight into comedy, and they're never in anything else. And even if they're in other movies, it's like, it's gotta be action comedy.
Ever since
I will say that he was pretty damn funny in Tropic Thunder, though.
Okay,
he
now,
was good. Tropic
See,
Thunder
now
was good.
that's the one exception. If you do one role like that because it's so different,
Yeah.
you know, that's fine, but it's more like...
It was a character thing. That's why it was funny. Because he wasn't just being, I'm Robert Downey Jr., I'm funny. He
Well, yeah,
"I'm
he was
a black
character
man,
acting,
I'm
yeah.
funny. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's
See, I like that. I think that might have been the movie where he did. He's like, oh, I guess people thought I was funny. Maybe I should try.
Well, he got nominated for an Academy Award in that flick.
Well, I guess that's the reason.
He lost it to Dead.
Went to his fucking head.
He lost it to Dead Heath Ledger, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Talk about, like, throwing an Academy Award away. I'm sorry. I know you guys love Joker. I'm like, really? No. I really don't think he deserved that award, to be honest with you.
Then you don't know Joker.
No, I know Joker, but I don't think that he should be handed an award for dying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do feel that he was kind of handed because he died.
Yeah.
It's one of those
It's
things.
like,
Well,
I don't get me wrong. I think he did a really good job in the movie, But I do felt like just because he died, and I think everybody knows that who gave that award out, that was the reason why. It's a pity award.
Yeah.
It's one of those things for me, it's kind of like, I think...
Even though he didn't die. But
if he was alive, I think let me put it this way. I think his...
Sorry, Sopsy, you're still alive, okay? I'm not trying to curse you or anything.
I don't know why that was so funny.
The thing with me I think he did a good enough job to deserve it, but he died, so I can understand why it seems kind of like a wasted award. But I honestly think he did a good enough job to deserve that award. That's my opinion.
I'd have to go back and see what else was nominated too, besides Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
but
we're debating about
you fucking remember. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but going back to the Academy Awards like 5 years ago or whatever.
Oh god, yeah.
But no, anyway.
It went 5 years ago.
No, but yeah, the Google movie though. There's the Google movie, and like it's about like they're interns working for Google.
Really? They're like 45-year-old fucking interns like working for Google. That's like the weirdest part too. Is when it's really old people working for Google.
Mm-hmm. They just lose their job or something, or like.
Yeah, they lost their job and like we gotta go become interns or whatever, and then there's like
right.
And like what I'm like I don't think
it really looks like like hey son, you could work at Google, but like in an hour and a half campaign.
Yeah. But then like what I realized, like I mean I already was like kind of like I don't want to see this movie. The thing that was the nail in the coffin for me was the guy from I want to say it was.
Oh, that fucking commercial?
The fucking hipster commercial.
Yeah, that one where it's like, oh, dude, take your phone, and if you put them together, you can exchange photos. I tied up Randy here, and I'm gonna fuck him later. Like that commercial?
I'm gonna fuck him in the mouth.
When I saw that guy, it's like, oh, I'd fucking never see it because that guy. I'm sorry, like, that guy might be a fine actor and all, but that commercial right there, that will always bother me for the rest of my life.
I'm not a violent person, and I have a few hipster friends, but I was kind of like, this really makes me want to beat up a hipster right now, this fucking commercial. Do you remember that one, Cisco?
Yeah, I remember
it was so horrible. They played it forever too.
And it was like, because like what happened is the guy would turn to the camera. He's like literally talking to the camera, like, "Hey guys, the movie's gonna start in just a second. Now, just pull out your phones." Like, "Oh, I see no one's really exchanging information. Well, let me tell you something." And then he goes and fucking whore out this phone and just click it together. Just like, God damn it, go the fuck away. It was like a full minute and a half commercial.
It was a long ass motherfucking commercial. Yeah.
It's like you guys are sitting down. I know you're not fucking going nowhere, so.
What are you gonna do now? The commercial's not long enough for you to go to the bathroom. You might as well just stay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this. This is kind of branching off to something else for a second. But did you notice when the Jurassic Park 3D trailer came up, it looked like it was being brought up through like a YouTube clip. It was not in full screen. It was not like every other preview. It was like it looked like it was cut off on the edges and it was cut off from the top too. It looked like it was pulled up from a video.
Every once in a while,
blown up to like.
Every once in a while, some of those trailers that like they're just not formatted out to widescreen.
Yeah,
and that kind of I've seen that before.
But it's Jurassic Park. Come on, give this damn movie.
Now the Jurassic Park ones that I saw were formatted out to the widescreen.
So. Yeah, the one I saw in the Sonora Theater though, it was
really.
It was like it was.
Which movie was this on?
What was it? Identity Theft or whatever that movie
I wasn't.
Okay, so that might have been the reason.
Yeah,
then.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, it was like. I was like, what?
So this is the identity. This is the identity theft crowd. They don't give a fuck for Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Yeah, that identity theft movie looked kind of retarded.
You know, I saw. Okay, I'll say this about it.
That
lady is not that bad of an actress. She's
I
actually
don't like her as an actress.
She's actually okay. It's funny. It was okay. Like I'd give it 3 out of 5, maybe 2.5 out of 4. Like it
has its moments.
It did have its moments. It wasn't that retarded. It actually had some funny things about it. It was a clever idea. I mean, it was like, some guy gets his identity stolen and, he has to go drive down the country. But what didn't make sense about it is like, okay, he has to go down here, pick up this woman who's a, con artist and a thief and take her back to Colorado. But come on. Who the hell would be okay with that when you're going to go to jail for life when you're caught? So he's like, he drives down there and he's like, oh, well, I'll take you back to Colorado, but I won't call the cops. You can trust me. And this woman, she's a con artist. She can't trust anybody. She's like, oh, well, I trust you. So he takes her all the way back to fucking Colorado. So it's like a buddy picture,
Yeah.
Going back, but it's like, what? You know you're going to get fucking caught.
Yeah.
But he gets a change of heart later on in the movie, I'm sure.
And then she's like, oh, but you're a nice guy, and I still your identity. It's like, no, and then, like, you have to feel, like, sad for her after a while. But no, fuck this girl. She fucking stole the guy's identity.
I feel sad for her as an actress, because it seems like in every movie trailer that comes out for her, she gets fatter and fatter. And like, her agents and producers are going like, no, you fucking eat that fucking cupcakes right there. No!
I bet she has
people like you because you're fat. They can relate.
She's the
If
new
you
Chris
die,
Farley.
who
She's
gives
the-
a fuck?
yeah, she's the female Chris Farley. I bet she's like paid in powdered donuts. To be honest
No,
with you.
she
Donuts scratching her nose. Yeah.
Exactly.
I have a feeling that
Cocaine
she'll
covered
probably
donuts.
be dead in about 10 years. Sadly, no. The rate
Yeah.
she's going, because like,
Unless she might have one of those like what's that woman, that black girl from Dreamgirls? Well, I forgot her name. She was fat, but then she got really skinny.
Not Precious.
yeah, but see,
No,
here's the thing.
not
Here's
her.
the thing, though.
She's always fat. She'll
See,
do-
now
she'll
since
do
she's
all
really
right.
skinny, who the fuck knows who she is anymore?
Exactly.
She lost her identity. She blended in.
She blended
That's
into
the reason,
Beyonce
though.
crowd,
They know they're like, the second you lose that weight, nobody's gonna give a fuck about you, bitch.
Exactly. I don't know. Well,
They don't want gonna watch Mike and Molly if one person's skinny. The main reason they watch this show is this they can relate.
Can you
People like
imagine
to
if,
relate.
If Chris Farley had lost a bunch of weight, he would look like the guy from The New Guy. Remember the movie The New Guy, that really skinny
Yeah, The
fucker?
New Guy.
He would look like him if he lost
I never
like
really
400
thought about
pounds.
that.
Maybe you start looking like Fat Bastard, too, though.
That's true. Went on the Subway diet. Just like
Maybe
skin
they-
all hanging everywhere
Yeah.
and shit.
Maybe
Yeah.
when they did the autopsy on Chris Farley, they pulled that guy out. He was a baby or something. He was
He gets
developing.
metamorphed into this.
He was developing in his stomach.
We must take him to Second City. He must go on SNL one day. It's like the beginning of Mario when the nuns find the Mario egg.
Oh, yeah.
instead of the Mario egg, it's just Chris Farley's body. We open the nuns open the.
He comes with like a purple crystal and shit.
Leave him on the doorstep of SNL in Chicago. No racism to be on SNL.
That would explain a lot.
Yeah, it would.
You saw the mysteries of the world there.
Well, I got kind of a confession of a movie I went to go see, which I wasn't planning on seeing, but
what movie did you go see now?
well, I got kind of dragged along to a sort of date, which totally was not worth it in the long run. I saw that Warm Bodies movie.
Oh, you wasted money on that?
I'm gonna
She
tell you
better
this.
paid for you.
No, she
You
didn't.
fucking pussy.
I knew I was gonna get that. Let me tell you this.
We live in the 2000s. They pay for you. Unless there's a written contract otherwise.
A written contract.
She drove.
You will buy the popcorn. I will buy the soda. You will buy the tickets. Or else this is
Make sure you sign this.
fine plus 5 years in jail and probation.
They also won't allow you back to the theaters.
Let me tell you this. You may lose some respect for me, but I'll tell you this, okay? It is by no means an amazing movie. But for being something that for every reason should have sucked dick and should have been horrible, it was all right.
That sometimes happens, though. I will say that some movies that look like absolute dog shit.
And it,
become
for
something
every
better.
reason, if
Like
for,
Shaun of the Dead. I thought that was going to
Yeah,
be
Shaun of the
retarded.
Dead. When I saw the trailer for that, I was like, that's the stupidest fucking thing
That
ever.
movie's like a
And
4
go
out of
look at
4.
it. Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
that's
Yeah.
now this is not amazing. This is one of those movies that's kind of like I went in there with my arms crossed, like I'm gonna fucking hate this. And as I'm watching it though, it's actually, like I said, it's not amazing. And you just gotta, I'm like, all right, I already know the guy and the girl are gonna fall in love, and he's a zombie. I already know all that. So just accept it and just watch the fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And as the movie went on, it actually wasn't bad. I'm not gonna go out and buy it, but it's not a bad
Well,
movie.
yeah, you didn't feel
Yeah.
like you wasted your time as much.
Something that was kind of interesting about it was the fact that, I mean, I know like zombie purists and all that will fucking hate this movie. But something that was kind of interesting about it is the thing that got across is the main character is the zombie, and he has a constant narration in his head, and the whole thing is, well, they're zombies and they're ravenous animals, but they can't control it. They're actually thinking the whole time and contemplating the whole time of what they're doing and kind of wondering.
So it is
who
something
was I?
different, so you can at least give it that.
And the whole thing, the reason why they like to eat brains is because they get a high off it. They get a high and they get memories from people. So he sees this girl, he eats this dude's brain, he eats her boyfriend's brains around the corner, and sees the girl all of a sudden, and just right there it triggers, and he just likes this girl all of a sudden.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, it causes kind of like a chemical reaction, which kind of like the zombie plague, it starts to infect other zombies. And still, that's I know it's bullshit, but it's a fantasy horror thing, whatever.
Go with it.
Just go with it, and if you just go with it, John Malkovich is in it. He's pretty good. He's
like
like
John Malkovich,
he's
yeah.
like the human leader. He's really good in it. Rob
The human
Corddry,
leader.
Still look as scary as he did before.
yeah, pretty much. He actually looks like he could be one of the zombies, as a matter of fact. But
That's why he doesn't get attacked.
Rob Corddry, he's in it. He does a really good job. He's like the main zombie's best friend, and pretty much what happens is the zombies start to develop and they start to become kind of smarter, and they actually band together to stop like these other zombies. Because apparently, zombies, they have an expiration date, and you become like these ones that are just generally like just barely, just mainly bone, and they're like kind of like 28-day later zombies, and they're fast.
Oh, okay.
And there's no way of reasoning with them. So eventually, all the zombies change, and they team up to stop the bone zombies or whatever. So it's one of those movies. I'm not gonna like say rush out to see it, but if there's worse movies, it's not a bad movie. So I'll say that.
Interesting.
Kind of like that movie.
And there's a little bit of humor in it. Yeah, go ahead.
Another movie that was not as good, not like an amazing movie like Shaun did it, but I thought it was going to be like a 0 out of 4, but it turned out to be like a 2 out of 4. I'd say was that Jennifer's Body movie.
Yeah, see, Jennifer's Body, like it's fun because it's like. So it's so kind of like almost like bad, but that almost makes it more entertaining.
Yeah.
But then also does have some kind of good stuff in it too at the same time.
I hated to say that I had a little respect for them because I hate that writer Diablo Cody.
Yeah.
But the fact that like it was actually like okay, Megan Fox. She was like the most badass character.
Most
in that movie.
she's the most manliest person in that movie.
All the pussy. Like,
all the men
guys
are
like a bunch of.
Well, that's because
pussies.
Diablo Cody always
like,
writes men's as like total pussies.
Yeah,
always.
She hates men because she's like a stripper or something, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Which you think that should be the exact opposite? You're like, oh, I love men. They pay me. That's how I got through all this shit. Without men, I wouldn't have a fucking job.
When I saw that movie, I was just like, you know what?
Unless she was like a dyke stripper.
It was interesting. Like it had a good point. It was not a good point. It just had its points. It had its parts where it was like
not amazing, but
it's just kind of fun and it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
and it does actually have some kind of cool stuff about it. Like that's what I thought too.
Was the gore pretty good?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was alright.
It was okay. Don't expect anything too much from it, but it serves its purpose.
The one thing is she's not the writer, but she's one of the writers on The Evil Dead.
Yeah, I know. It's like the biggest turn off. Like, well, that movie doesn't look that great as is.
Yeah.
I mean, might just see it just to see it, but at the same time, I don't know. Sometimes I don't like spending my money on things I'm not too sure about.
Yeah. It looks kind of like they're kind of taking elements of Evil Dead 2 and 1, but kind of going with the vibe of Evil Dead 1, because I want to say there's the main reason I think that I'm guessing there might be an evil clone, kind of like of the girl who I'm guessing is in the place of Ash, because there's one moment where they show her possessed, but there's another moment where it looks like there's two of them running around. So I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. All right. Look,
I don't know. It's one of those things. We already have a perfect horror film out there. Why fuck with it?
Yeah, Evil Dead is pretty much like one of the Evil Dead, like this, like 1, 2, and 3. They're kind of like the prime of all horror movies, in my opinion.
They're good. Yeah.
So it's just like I don't know. Don't tamper with the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
just give us Evil Dead 4.
Yeah, just give us Evil Dead 4, what we really want.
Yeah.
It looks more like it's. I mean, the looks like. I mean, we can't go.
And it's like what's like Evil Dead about Bruce Campbell, and once again, it's like having a fucking Die Hard about Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Same fucking thing.
What is Bruce Campbell doing now?
He's producing it.
Bruce Campbell technically is that's his fucking movie series, just like those, like the fucking
franchise,
everything else. And it's just like I don't know. That's the number one thing. It's like why do I want to see Evil Dead about Bruce Campbell? Yeah. Really, I'm sorry. Like why do I want to? Give me a fucking reason, because there's not really one there.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're almost marketing it more, kind of like, even though they have like supernatural shit in it, it looks more like they're marketing it off like the Hostel shit. Because yeah, the original Evil Dead films, they had gore, but it looks more of like that kind of torture gore. Because there's parts the chick was like cutting her face with the razor and all that, and the part when like she chainsaws her arm off or whatever, it actually looks a lot more gorier instead of just like kind of like cartoonier, you know.
Well, that's because it's an older movie.
What?
That's because that Evil Dead 2 is an older movie.
Well, even when he chainsaws his arm off, if I remember correctly, it kind of like, it doesn't really show it. You see blood flying off, and he's laughing. They're almost being comical with it.
Well, I think that's the only way you could go about chopping your arm off, is you just gotta kind of almost get to like that psychotic point, because you can't just, a normal person can't just sit there and chop their arm off.
I still was kind of laughing on that
part.
part.
It's like that 127 hours or the movie, 128, whatever.
I remember 127 days.
The Danny Boyle film?
Yeah, it's like, you're sure at some point the guy's just like, oh, this is fucking funny. I'm cutting my arm off with a fucking rusty knife. This is a great thing. Like, you gotta laugh after it. This is a terrible thing.
You laugh and like whipped his dick out and chopped his arm off.
Just the longest process, just slapping his dick against his arm for 127
hours.
Danny Boyle deserves like a fucking best picture Oscar if he fucking did that, just for having the sheer fucking balls.
Well, that guy did in real life.
The guy comes to him in real life, like just this, the guy who actually lived it, like, what did you fucking do to my movie? It's like, that's not how I lost my fucking arm. It got people's attention,
artistic. I was being artistic, okay? Just leave me alone.
It's the only way I was going to top Slumdog Millionaire. Cut me some fucking slack.
Movies. I got the new 007 on Blu-ray, though. I got Skyfall.
That was a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And watching it again, it's like, oh yeah, I like it even more the more I watch it.
That was a good one. I do want to see it again. I want to get it on Bluray. Yeah, that was probably my favorite out of all the...
I definitely think it's the best by the Daniel Craig ones by far.
He was good in that one, and the story was just cool.
The story was really cool, and it felt more Bond-like than the last two.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Well,
He's finally going back to gadgets.
Yeah, and even though like they're still trying to eliminate the gadgets, because even saying the special features, they're like, well, you know, the gadgets is like an old-fashioned thing.
Like, no, you can always go back.
No, gadgets are still cool.
Yeah, come on.
It's just like no.
It's like when you play
Don't maybe get the newspaper out.
when you play the like GoldenEye like Daniel Craig version. It's like, what's your gadget? A smartphone? It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, not a laser watch.
Yeah.
No, it's got a smartphone.
Aw.
Take pictures and scan shit. It's like, oh, that's okay.
That's not that. Everybody has a fucking smartphone. Give me something cool.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing though. Is like I remember when I was watching special features, and they're like, well, nowadays everybody has gadgets, so that's why gadgets aren't nearly as cool. I'm like, I don't have a fucking laser watch still. I don't have a pen that explodes.
Come
Yeah,
on.
just get me more creative. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Ryan, you have Hamlet too.
What?
You have Hamlet too.
Yes, I have Hamlet too.
Yeah, that movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not helpful to anything else.
Sorry, I just saw that over Spencer's shoulder. I was like, oh, I love that movie. Anyway, back to 007.
No, Dude 07 is pretty sweet though on
Yeah.
Blu-ray. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty good special features.
Yeah.
It's like an hour's worth. But and it's got commentary and all cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like nowadays, though, since like they rush movies out so fast, like how much special features can you make in like 3 months?
Exactly.
Or a little bit
Yeah.
longer than that,
Yeah, I
but
feel like
still.
That's a
I
good
feel like they
point,
try to-
you know?
Like 5 months.
They try to do them while they're shooting the movie, not just behind the scenes. They're
Well,
trying to,
yeah,
like,
I-
you just shot this scene. Now go in that room and film 15 minutes about what you thought about that scene. It's like,
Yeah, well, they obviously are doing them like
okay.
simultaneously, but
Yeah.
sometimes that's like one of the only downfalls, though. It's just like, you know, you can't always crank out just like a buttload of special features like in so little a time.
Yeah.
I remember we're at that. Well, do Blu-rays, unless you get like the $35 like special edition Prometheus, generally do Blu-rays even have a whole lot of special features by this point?
Yeah, the Blu-rays do have a lot of special
It
features.
depends what it is.
Yeah, I mean, not everything. I mean, if you get like, well, they make some Blu-rays just like how they did with DVDs, where they just kind of like slap them together.
A lot of times, if it's a made-for-TV movie that's on Blu-ray, like I just got Game Change on Blu-ray, and that movie has like 10 minutes of special features. I'm like, come on, that's such a freaking awesome movie. Everyone watch that movie, Game Change. But that's, I mean, come on, you gotta put something together. I know it's made for TV, but it's a great movie. Ugh.
I don't know, but there's like a lot of the big movies mostly always do. Like 007 had special features, Judge Dredd had special features, Dark Knight Returns Part 2 had special features.
A lot or just a few? Because I looked at the back of the DVD one.
It had a good amount. It had about like 40 minutes worth of special features.
Dredd or Judge Dredd?
Dredd.
Okay, yeah.
I just call it Judge Dredd because Dredd's kind of... I don't know, I think like sometimes like that super simple name sometimes makes it kind of more confusing, but...
Well, I just saw a copy of Judge Dredd on Blu-ray. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised they just made this movie on Blu-ray.
Hopefully they'll confuse it with the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. It's like, oh, the other one came out, let's make it on that.
I don't remember when Inglourious Bastards came out. They made the original Inglourious Bastards on Blu-ray. Like, who the hell thought of making Inglourious Bastards the original one on Blu-ray?
Well, it's like once one sells, you can sell the other one.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say that like the original Inglourious Bastards is a totally different movie. I mean, yeah, it's World War II, but it's a different movie. And I want to say that the name, even it's like the name like Inglorious is spelled different or something like that.
Really?
I don't think it's spelled the same if I remember correctly.
I thought I saw something where it's spelled just a little different, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't know. Speaking of Inglourious Bastards, though, that kind of reminds me. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid recently.
Oh, yeah.
And as well as once, I don't think I've played Metal Gear Solid in like literally about 6 years.
You been playing Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation or Twin Snakes?
Twin Snakes, actually. I started with that one. I'm gonna go into Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, but I've just been playing Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes over and over again.
That's the game I need to buy still.
And it's just one of those ones like, sometimes like going back, it's like it's just been so long about Metal Gear, and sometimes like when it's been a long time with anything, you almost kind of forget how good it is. Yeah. It's like you remember it being great, but you don't remember how great it was.
Yeah. So okay, now you can answer this question. Ryan and I were just talking about this before you came over. Okay, so I know in the original one it's so you like to play Castlevania with
I was trying.
What do they say for the
I don't know
GameCube
because
one?
like on
The
my
GameCube one, I remember there was like, you love to play Smash Brothers Melee.
Or is it like
You
is that
seem
what it
to
is? You like to play Animal Crossing or something like that?
A friend of mine had Animal Crossing.
because my Nintendo games are all saved on a different memory card than this one.
By the way, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, this is Psycho Mantis' character talking to Solid Snake, to Snake in
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But it's like on my memory card, like it's like the Metal Gear Solid one. It's on like a different one because it's kind of got like all my other games. Like there's a Nintendo memory card, and then this one just kind of has like the run of the mill from like Metal Gear Solid to Resident Evil and stuff.
Yeah.
But
How many are there though? Are there more than like a few things they can say?
I don't know what it says on that one. I only remember what it says in the original because on mine it just goes like, "You have no memory. Your mind is clean."
What other ones were there though? I know there was Castlevania. What else? Did
There
they
was
say?
like, you like Mario Sunshine.
I think
probably, whatever.
no. I think on the original one, I think there was Castlevania. I think it was Contra was one of the other games,
there
and I think
Final-
Silent Hill. No, because Silent Hill was made afterwards.
Was Final Fantasy on there?
I think.
Well, Final
No.
Fantasy, it came out at the same time. Final
No,
Fantasy
no,
VIII
keep
came out.
in mind, it's all Konami games on like the original one.
Oh, yeah.
And on this one, I think it's all Nintendo games.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think there's a single other really Konami game for
Trying
fucking
to sell other
GameCube.
games. Trying to sell other games. Yeah. That's funny.
I see you have shit that I don't care about.
I see you watch porn.
What if you the PC version just like says your cleared internet history?
I see you like Donkey Dick's Gone Wild.
Asian piss palace, you know.
I've seen that too.
But like, just
Psycho
like,
Man, this is a fucking psycho. Jesus.
you're spitting everywhere. You
Did I?
spit monkey.
Did I just spit?
You're like,
Sorry.
ruff, 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 ruff.
I see you like
You should
to play
fucking join Fox
Rainbow
News if you're
Six.
gonna spit that much.
Did I just get you?
I don't know, but I just you look like a water fountain. But just but Metal Gear Solid though, it's just like just all the things when I think about back at the game and just like playing like the original one and also playing Twin Snakes, just like there's just so many like little things in that game to just blow your fucking mind. And when I think about it, I'm like, man, I just picture back in like the 90s of like just all those like little things in that game, just like, you know, I mean, just things like all the ways the guards can like, you know, you can trick the guards and the guards can kind of find you and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, like the whose footprints are these when you're out in the snow?
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. Some of those things
That
can be.
game's a scary ass game, I gotta say. Like I play that game nowadays, even like the old PlayStation.
The PlayStation one's actually scarier, strangely enough. I don't know what it is.
yeah.
Just I think just because the graphics are more
The
simpler, so it
fucking
makes-
wolves when you go in that cave,
and they have like
area
fucking
after
red
you-
eyes. But
Yeah.
Here's where I get crucified. I did not play the original one for PlayStation 1, but I played the Twin
I think
Snakes.
your childhood was just like.
See, here's the thing.
I
I,
had
don't know,
an
I
N6
felt like you must have lived in a cardboard box.
I
never
couldn't-
away from society.
I'm sorry, I couldn't afford. I only had a Nintendo 64. I didn't have a PlayStation 1.
See, I
Well,
never
yeah,
played
but
the.
didn't you have like
yeah.
other people's like houses you went to that had PlayStation and stuff? Because that thing is like
None of them had that game.
Because I didn't have Metal Gear. Like, I personally actually didn't have that game like right when it came out, but I remember John Bumgarner had that game.
I watched
People
people
aren't
play
gonna
the
mention
game
it.
here and there.
See, I had Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation, but I've never played Twin Snakes. That's the thing.
I had Twin
never have.
Snakes,
I want
that's
to play
what
Twin
happened.
Snakes.
Twin Snakes one's like here's the thing. The PlayStation one, I think the voice acting is just a tad bit better on the PlayStation one.
Yeah.
But the Twin Snakes is just much better as far as gameplay goes because
Yeah.
it plays like Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
And that's what makes it
Yeah.
because it's just the small things. Even though like I wouldn't mind going back and playing the original one, just because like sometimes like when you get older, sometimes you look at the things like the simplicity of it's almost like even better.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you go back and play Resident Evil 1.
Well, personally, like
the
the Resident
GameCube
Evil's
version.
like that's another thing is like I went to go play Resident Evil 4 the other day. That game felt like I felt like I was playing like a barbarian like game. Like it just felt after playing 5 and 6, it felt so simple.
Yeah.
Now I can go play 1, 2, 3 Code Veronica, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
But for something about it, like I don't know, it's just like oh yeah, I guess I can't step on the enemy's heads.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do this. It's just a lot of small things. Just like oh, I can really just point and shoot. That's it.
Yep.
I don't know why. It just comes across as so simple.
Yep. What were you
The
saying,
Metal
Ryan?
Gear Solid though, I was thinking that like
I was-
or what you want, you could go.
I was gonna say, well, my introduction to Metal Gear Solid was before I had a PlayStation 2. My brother had a PlayStation 2, and he had Metal Gear Solid 2. He played a little bit of it, and he couldn't really get into it. He primarily liked sports titles. So
Metal Gear Solid's one of those kind of games. Some people just don't. They
they
just
don't
can't
like
get
the
into it.
cutscenes, and I actually
You don't know
played
you
it.
can skip them.
I played it, and I just fell in love with the game. And then later,
Yeah.
when I got a GameCube, I went and got the Twin Snakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. I just love that game so much.
Yeah.
One thing that's one thing though that makes like this is like the number one feature that like blows away the fucking PlayStation one though. Almost makes me not even want to play the PlayStation one just because of this one thing. Is the part towards the end where you have to get like the fucking key card? You put the one in, then you got to go get the other one cold, and then you got to get the other one hot afterwards.
Oh, that
It's the same
part,
card.
yeah.
They do the best fucking thing ever. If you go to the far right, like in like the Metal Gear hangar area, whatever you want to call it, or cargo, I can't remember what it's called, but the far right, and you like you hang off this one ledge, drop, and then grab like the second ledge because you got to hang drop and come up. There's these two fucking pipes. You shoot one pipe and it blows the smoke out and it turns the card cold. You shoot the other pipe and it blows smoke out and it turns the card red.
This makes it a lot easier.
That is awesome.
It saves fucking like a half an hour.
Yeah.
Like literally a half an hour probably.
That's good.
It's like the one of those things like that feature right there alone just almost makes you like I don't know if I even played the original just because of that. Because that was such a pain. I remember that's
I
like
forgot about that whole card.
that's the
part.
one part. There's only two parts of the game I think is kind of like that part's kind of pain in the ass, and then the two parts too is you have to kind of like when you originally go and Meryl gets shot and she's laying there and you have to go all the way back and get the fucking sniper rifle and then come back.
Yeah.
And then once you fucking defeat Sniper Wolf there, you go forward, get captured. They take you all the way back to where that fucking sniper rifle was. Again, you have to run back in that direction.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Now, how long is that game? Like, what is your speed? What is your fastest?
In replaying it, the first time I did it, oh yeah, don't have your foot on that. It's gonna make the noise. Is it took me about 5 hours, and then when I went to do it again, it was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
The second time. Because sometimes whenever you come back to a game, you almost have to like almost relearn or something. Like, oh yeah, that's what you do. But then also you sometimes kind of having fun with it, and then it's like, okay.
I had 3 hours of cutscenes in there.
Yeah, the cutscenes are really like what makes it. I think that's the longest part of the game.
Yeah,
that's why like the first time you play that game, why you're like, why is my time like fucking 9 hours?
Yeah, because you're watching the cutscenes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, it's just Metal Gear. Something about it, just like I've just kind of forgot all the small things. Remember some of the things too back in the day on the PlayStation ones? They had the live action scenes in there, and you're like, oh my fucking god,
that blew your mind, like
live
old Desert
action.
Storm footage and all that.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. Like fucking conspiracy and shit, man.
Yeah.
There was actually
fucking Big Boss is the president, man. Like I didn't fucking know that. Kid, fucking 10. I didn't know what the president was fucking Big Boss.
No, the thing with that, they actually have several Metal Gear titles coming out. You know, the big one everyone knows about is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which is one of the worst names ever.
Month.
Yeah.
Then there's also, they have another one coming out, which I guess is a sort of prequel. You're playing as Big Boss still. It's somewhere in the mid-'80s, I guess. He's old by this point, and it looks like, I'm not sure what that one's called, but it's apparently not the official Metal Gear Solid 5. But then there's something else that came out, and it's made by the Metal Gear Solid team, and it's called like Pain Factor or something around those lines. I don't remember exactly. And what happens is, I mean, I'm kind of out of the loop when it comes to a lot of video game stuff recently, because I don't, I've been playing as much as usual. But it opens up, you're a guy in a hospital, and all of a sudden there's like bandages around your face, and there's an explosion. This is all third person primarily, and you're pretty much just crawling around. You can't run. You're crawling around, playing dead. There's like guys coming through, shooting people and all that. You're playing corpses. You're hiding underneath beds. It looks kind of like a survival horror. And then all of a sudden, someone busts in. It's a guy on fire. He looks like Lieutenant Vulcan from Metal Gear Solid 3. And then the title pops up, which I think was it was like Pain Factor or Pain Theory. It was something around those lines. And then, but apparently, someone said if you arrange it a weird way, or if you like, the text says Metal Gear Solid.
Huh.
Interesting.
So it's one of those weird. That sounds like a very Kojima thing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it kind of different.
Yeah.
That Metal Gear Revenge, to me, it doesn't really jump out. It's like, oh, I played it at some point. It doesn't jump out to me like, oh man, gotta go and get that one right away.
My thing is, I mean, it's because when I think Metal Gear Solid, I mean, I know it's a spin-off title. My thing is, it's kind of like Raiden, I mean, maybe
here it goes back to that fucking Die Hard thing. You take away fucking Snake.
Well, it's not so much because it's a spin-off title, but the thing with it is, Raiden, they got across like, I'm this tragic warrior and this and that. I don't want to be. Maybe it takes place before 4.
So you live in a fucking computer world, and all of a sudden you were thrown into a real mission one day.
And then all of a sudden he's just like doing backflips, like, yes, I love killing. This is awesome. Woo! He's doing backflips and shit with like an 80s guitar anime solo, behind him. So it's just one of those things like that really seems like a large jump. Let's just a part where he throws a robot in the air. He's like a transformer like robot and cuts the fucking thing in half or something.
Yeah, it almost, to me, it's like, I mean, like, it might not be a fun game, but to me it just almost feels like, the one thing I like about Metal Gear Solid is I like kind of like how at least close to realistic it is, you know what I mean? Like, that's what kind of made it kind of fun, and by making it like very like stylized and kind of out there, it just almost feels like, well, I don't really feel like I'm playing Metal Gear Solid anymore.
Now, did they remake Metal Gear Solid for the PSP, or did they add it to the PSP so you could download through the PlayStation Network? I think they did.
The original one, the PlayStation one.
Yeah,
you can download the original on PlayStation. Now you can, and then now on PS3 and Xbox 360, which I got the one on Xbox 360. You can get the Metal Gear Solid like collection, and it's got 2, 3, and then it's got like the Peace Walker one for PSP on there.
Okay. Now are they gonna like? I wonder if they're gonna like reanimate like one kind of like they just for, like Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. Like if they're gonna do that for like Metal Gear Solid 1
on the 3DS, they released Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh yeah,
you can get it on there.
For which one?
For the 3DS.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting.
And then on the Vita, they have the Metal Gear Solid collection, but it just has 2 and 3.
Have you ever played number 3, Cisco?
No, I never have played.
Oh, 3's awesome.
Number 3 is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But it was once. It'd be cool if they did this for the Wii U. Is they made fucking Twin Snakes. Like, just redid that one again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because it could use like a little graphic overhaul and everything.
I think they're on good terms with Konami. Why not?
I mean, yeah. I don't think there's any problem with that. But
yeah,
it's one of those ones. They're remaking all the other ones like in an HD one. Like, why don't you take Twin Snakes now?
Yeah. Well, even Hideo Kojima came out and said, you know what? I mean, because like he apparently didn't like the controls as much. He didn't think the controls were made for a GameCube controller. It's like, I don't know about that, but now he might go back on it.
To me, it's like once the controls are totally fine. I mean, like I know like the one thing that the PlayStation always has over everything is the pressure sensitive buttons. But all you do is like they take it, which I personally actually rather just have a button because it's actually easier than the pressure sensitive. Because I don't know how many times I accidentally fired the gun in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. But because like on the GameCube, all you do is when you're holding A with the gun out, you just press Y and he pulls the gun back in.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. You never do a misfire. Which, because misfire signs get you fucked up in that game.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck. Now everybody knows where I am.
Yeah.
Thank Christ.
Now, okay, speaking of bad controls, going to another game. For The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for 3DS. Okay, great game. The only problem with that game is the damn Ocarina buttons.
How are the Ocarina buttons in that game again? Because I
They're
haven't played
like
that game since the game
completely
came
out
out
of
like
whack.
on 3.
It's always been left C, up C, right C, left C, up C, right C to play like God, what's the damn? Oh,
Saria?
no, the
Zelda
Lullaby. Sorry, I should have known that 2 million seconds ago. Anyway, it's always been that, but now it's like completely off. It's like it's up is left, down is right, A is L. It's really messed up. I wish they could change. I wish you could change it because it's like I've noticed about every single remake they've made for Ocarina of Time. They've always made the Ocarina playing less and less fun. Like it was so fun
the
to
N64,
play.
it was so much
It was
fun
so much fun to play the Ocarina.
And on the GameCube, it was like, the C stick,
it
was like, oh, well, whatever.
Fun. Now it's terrible. Now it's like a job to do it. Like, I really wish they had made a little patch where you could fix that, because that's just terrible.
Huh.
It's like,
for some reason, I guess it's just been so long since I played the Ocarina.
yeah.
When I came back to that one, probably because I came from the GameCube one, like it was the last one, so I was like, oh, well, this isn't that big of a deal after the GameCube
Yeah, the
one.
GameCube one was fine, but like they just totally fucked with this.
Well, the upside of that game, though, is I just love how, one, you can carry more items, because the Ocarina has its own slot.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Everything else is great.
And two,
yeah.
I love how you can like take like the boots and put them in your item slot, so you can click on and off.
Yeah.
So like you don't have to go like delete, 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 delete,
Yeah.
delete,
Exactly.
delete.
Yeah.
And then you can just go click, click. Okay, boots are on. Click, click. Boots are off.
Exactly. That was a great little feature. And the Ocarina just takes its own spot. You don't have to add it to one of the C buttons or whatever you want to call the buttons now.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they are on there.
Yeah, that was cool.
I don't know, I haven't played that game since I got my 3DS. It seems like.
It's a great game.
No, that game was so fucking awesome.
Is Wii U talked about any new Zelda games?
They're gonna
anymore?
make a Wind Waker fucking HD one.
Yeah, that's what I'm probably
cool.
going to get when it comes out.
I know that one's gonna be sweet.
First, I got to get Assassin's Creed 3, but after that, I'm going to get the other one.
Well, that does say they don't. Still the Wii U. It's like one of the ones like I'd like to get it, but it's like they still don't have a ton of stuff coming out.
I did just talk to my friend Daniel in Hayward, and he has a Wii U, and he played that Zombie U game, and he said it was actually pretty good.
Well, that's one thing. I was reading some Amazon reviews, and like people are going. They're like, yeah, it's just the fucking IGN people and stuff like that are like that. Because like, ask anybody else, and who has a Wii U, and they fucking love that game.
Yeah, I don't want to buy it, but I sort of want to get it off like what is it like Redbox would get it for like $2 or whatever. I want to try it for a night, see if I like it.
They have video games in the Redbox now?
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. There's only $2 too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a lot of games out there you can beat like in 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
So for $2, $4, even $6 like a weekend, like that's pretty cool. I mean, they don't have a ton of games, but they probably got about like 10 of the newest games that's out.
You know that pretty soon the GameCube's going to start. I mean that GameStop.
They're gonna start putting fucking GameCubes in this.
GameStop is going to start getting into this racket of renting games because Blu-ray is going to get bigger. It's going to be
Fucking
Redbox is gonna be
Blockbuster or not Blockbuster, but
When
Best
Blockbuster-
Buy.
yeah.
Best Buy does used games, which I thought was like, what the fuck?
Well, there's a
Yeah.
rumor about this. I don't know if it's true. I doubt it's true because I don't think the game companies are this fucking stupid. But they're saying they might go and actually make all games just like you can't like. You have to put in a special code. Like you cannot like just buy used games anymore. You put a game on there and it installs the game.
Well, some games
rather-
they've kind of like Resident Evil did that with their one for the Mercenaries one for 3DS, where there's only one save file and you can't erase it.
Yeah.
So if you buy the game used and somebody unlocked all the shit, well, you just got a master copy and that's it.
Yeah.
Which it's like one of those ones. I mean, a lot of people on like Amazon are like, you know what, like. Who the fuck cares? And that's not the main reason you play Mercenaries to sit there and unlock stuff. You just want to like try to get the high scores. I'm like, that is kind of true.
The
But
only
still,
game,
Well, for
the last game I
Mercenaries,
saw that
though,
in was freaking Blast Corps for N64, the game you can't erase, I think.
can you not erase? Oh yeah.
But as far as like, I mean, as far as taking, I mean, I think they're just like tired of fucking GameStop.
Well, really, GameStop's the fucking blame. So you really shouldn't be buying your shit at GameStop. You should really be buying it brand new.
But at the same time, it also seems like a fucking dick move to say, "Oh, you fuckers, you only buy it for like $60 now." You know.
Well, what
seems
they
like a
hate
real-
is because what they do is they kind of fuck over like the fans. I mean, what I always say is like, if you really like, this goes with movies and music and everything else. If you really like something, buy it brand new because that's how you get more of them. If you don't buy it brand new, that you can look at it this way, like it might not be around next time.
Yeah.
You know, if you really like something, now you can't buy everything brand new. We know that, but.
And it seems dumb to try and punish people for not buying it brand new.
It's kind of like,
but it's one of those things. I doubt they'll do it, but it's in the they mentioned it a few times.
Well, it's kind of like some companies like Adobe. I feel like that company
Oh,
really
fuck Adobe.
They really fucking punish the people that buy their shit legally.
Yeah, because I'd let you borrow like Photoshop elements, And then it's like, oh, you can only put this on twice. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and
I
this was-
paid $60 fucking for it. Come on, give me some fucking slack.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like $70. Yeah.
Well, that's not that expensive, really.
Still, but yeah, the fact
But,
that I fucking paid for it.
But yeah, it's just one of those ones like you paid for it, and then secondly, it's like one of those ones that make you put all this stuff and all the security. It's like, you know what? Don't bash the fucking people that are going out of their way to buy your shit brand new.
Yeah.
Get focus your energy on something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how it is with those used games too. It's like, I don't, people buy. The thing is like, what the fuck happens when a game like is not sold brand new anymore?
Yeah.
Because technically, what I always say, it's like once a game is past like a couple years old, I mean, the company's not making any money off of it too much anymore.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, very few games still make money probably after a couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, a video game probably makes all its money in 2 years, generally. Because who buys it brand new after that?
Yeah.
You always buy it used.
Yeah.
Because I mean, where am I going to go to buy a brand new GameCube game? Technically,
eBay, maybe.
yeah, and it's like technically it's not really brand. I mean, it's not like the money's going to them; it's just going to that guy on eBay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Magically held on to that game.
Yeah.
Someday, someone will buy this copy of Hello Kitty skating.
And what are they gonna do with like? I'm wondering like what other than like the little like small little mom and pop shops that sell video games, like
Those don't even
what-
really exist anymore.
yeah, like there's a couple of them, like the one in Hayward. That
yeah,
showed
there's
you.
that one.
But like other than that, like what happens to all those? Other than those, I know they just all go to that damn landfill in Nevada. All those like old NES and Super Nintendo games that people don't use anymore.
There's
Well,
one
it's
that's
all
in fucking
eBay
Jamestown.
now.
There's
But
one
even-
that's...
but I'm talking about like the ones that collectors don't get. Because there are thousands, millions and millions and millions out there.
Oh
of
yeah,
course
the
collectors
people
all have
the
theirs.
people that can't
But
trade
the
their
excess ones,
the people
Yeah.
that only know how to trade and shit.
yeah. I wonder what
Remember there's the one in... You guys remember there was the one in Jamestown?
Yeah,
like
like-
for like 3 months.
That kind of had like their stuff was all in like shitty condition. It was like the only downfall.
Well, the thing is, you go in there, it's like, I went in there like, oh my god, Boogie Nights for $2, special edition, this is fucking amazing. You're like, oh, there's a
Just
reason.
fucking scratch the hell.
Yeah, and like, they was like, they just like, you got something to sell? We'll sell it. Okay, cool. You gonna check it? Not really.
Well, it's those ones if you don't check your shit, no one. It's like that's probably the main reason that place failed.
And there's also the place in Modesto. I'm pretty sure it's a drug front.
Oh god, that place.
Yeah.
We walked
They
into that
sold
one.
like Mario Kart for $60 for the Super Nintendo. Like,
We just
yeah,
walked in
yeah.
there. They turned like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
they gave us the death stare look. Like,
Yeah,
What the
like,
fuck are you doing in
You're
there?
actually in here to buy video games?
fucking nerds.
Scratching his neck and nose and shit.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know. Oh, but do you know that Google's going to be trying to make a new console,
Google's making a console.
and so is
really?
Valve, the company that made like Left 4 Dead and Half-Life, because they have like that thing. I'm assuming that's the same Valve, but that like Steam thing, where people like go online and like
Yeah.
you pay. It's kind of like Netflix, but for video games, and you like or stream. I said, or no,
Oh, you
Steam.
stream games?
No, it's Steam, and you
Okay.
stream. There we go. That's what it's.
Well, I don't like the idea of streaming video games. That sounds
Well,
terrible.
like what they're gonna do is they're gonna make a little box that you can plug into your TV, so like you can just play it like that. Which that's kind of cool. I think that
Yeah.
service is kind of cool.
What if it,
Well, the Google one's supposed to be made so that you can play like your Android games on your TV. So they don't really feel like that big of a threat towards like real video games. And I say real video games,
Yeah,
but for now, yeah.
but really, it's kind of a lot more of these like iPad and tablet and smartphone games. It's a lot easier for people who did not grow up with video games just to jump in and play them. They're like, okay, Fruit Ninja, Angry Birds,
Yeah, that's
anybody
the
can
thing,
play
like,
Well,
those.
I will say
Nintendo
that-
has to compete with Apple nowadays.
Well, and some of those games though, they actually are releasing some real games. There's not like a ton of real games, but you do find every once in a while you're like, well, what the fuck? That's a fucking full-on console game
Yeah, there's some on there. Like,
or full PC game or something,
Yeah.
you do find some of that on there, but you also just find a lot of stuff that like anybody can pick up and play.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
well,
that's what they're more going for.
the-
Kind of like
yeah.
what we
lowest-
tried to
Serving
do.
to the lowest common denominator for that
Yeah.
particular game.
What we tried to do and did good for a while, and still probably walked away with a good profit. But I think Apple and all them just probably mastered that really.
Yeah, no. Well, like the phones and all stuff. That's different
Yeah.
though. But I'm just talking about.
Well, really, I mean, kind of like take like a $20 Wii game, $20 when it came out. Compare that to a game you play on a tablet or like an iPhone or something. Same quality, really.
Yeah, same quality. Instead of the tablet one's probably only like anywhere from 99 cents to $5.
Yeah.
What gets me is like when they completely like make a version of Madden 12 or Madden 13 for the iPhone. They have to completely like redo it and make it simpler compared to like Madden 12 for the PS3. But you can buy it for like $6. It's like, this is so weird. Playing a football game on my iPhone.
Yeah, well, it's like on
Is
my.
it almost kind of like playing like a Game Boy version to like an NES version, or is it like?
It's just so simple. It's like has a couple things on there, but it's just so weird.
So it's not the same game.
It's not the same game. It feels like it's like it's at somewhere between N64 and GameCube version of Madden.
Okay.
put onto an iPhone and made and cut into a quarter. That makes sense. Like it was very weird.
That makes sense. I mean, you can get we're at the point where you can play San Andreas on your phone. So
Yeah, that's right. They have that on there now.
Yeah, San Andreas on there.
well, they have
Oh,
Vice
and
City.
by the way, PS3 has the PS3 you can download the Grand Theft Auto. Finally,
You know PS2 games now?
5 fucking years, Sony, but they finally did it.
Finally.
God, that was annoying. I was waiting forever to get the game.
Let's hold up for like Grand Theft Auto 5.
It's like, okay, iPhone got the damn Vice City, but fucking PS3 couldn't take their own goddamn game from Rockstar and fucking put it on downloadable systems so people who didn't have the original PS3 could play it. God, I've been waiting to play that game again forever. Fucking Sony. Finally get your ass together. But,
Yeah, it's not like once was like with those downloadable games. You think they could just literally take their whole collection and just be like, bam,
Yeah.
just have at it, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's one thing about Nintendo. It's like, why the fuck do you only release like 3 games a week? That's fucking
Yeah.
annoying because then you go like, oh, it's a shit, fucking shitty games. God damn it, I gotta wait another week now.
Yeah, and they haven't
Yoshi
released
Safari.
an N64 game on there for like a year and a half, it seems like. Come on!
No, like then they released an N64 game. It's like, 1080.
I'm waiting
Like,
for you.
I forgot about 1080 just
That
till
was
now.
the last one.
Yeah, I was like, what
I'm
the fuck
waiting
is
for
that?
you to put Harvest Moon 64 on there. What the fuck's your problem? Come on. Speed it up.
Well, it's just one of those. It's like I don't know why they're taking their sweet time at that. You know what I mean? You could literally just be like, here's 50 fucking Super Nintendo games. Here's 50 N64 games, just all at once, and people just buy them at their leisure.
Yeah, I know. They think they're gonna flood the market or something. The market's already flooded.
I don't know.
Come on.
This is the only
Just
way they're
do
gonna
it.
make money off old video games is by like those kind of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I think that seems like a good place. I think we've entered our time.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, tune in next week and we'll have something else. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And I'm Francisco Garcia.
We'll see you later, and check out oldmanorange.com where you can find everything Old Man Orange. See ya.
Goodbye.
Later.